Hey, what's going on, guys? It's what episode are we on now? Episode 17, huh?
Yes.
So
Cool.
yeah, that's good stuff. So guess what? Stuff's going on. Like there's more TLCs and whatnot. So yeah, whenever the well, I knew the update was coming today, but I had no idea what was going to be in the update when I made the event. So I was like, guess what? Stuff's happening. So I don't know, that's kind of funny. But anyway, I'm joined tonight by Vlad, the man who is filled with disappointment.
Yeah, absolutely filled with disappointment. I'm told that's everybody's favorite word that I use.
Right, right. We also got Ross there, the man whose vanity can barely be contained by that computer screen. What's up, Ross?
Good evening, everyone.
And I'm your host, Damnation, the man with the face made for radio.
And the voice made for print.
Yeah, exactly. So we got some stuff going on this week. Let's go ahead and get started on slides, and we'll talk about the stuff that's going on. Bug fixes and tuning. They fixed the issue where the Phantom Gluttony was freezing fleets. I'm sure that made Ross extremely happy.
Yes.
Guess that means I can pull my Phantom Gluttony out of my guard fleet and go back to having no guard at all.
Well, right? In all honesty, it still has quite an effect. I've tested to see if it is repaired actually, and it is, but it does still have quite an effect. To slow down effect, the proper effect. It no longer will turn your king around. However, so it still will work pretty well as in a guard.
Well, that was kind of interesting because, like, if I'm not mistaken, it has like a blue field, right? It's like blue when you're looking at it.
Yes, sir.
So it's like it kind of went from like being a frost-looking field, like it was supposed to be, to like being a big ass chunk of solid ice. Like, you shall not pass.
Right. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but apparently they fixed that, and I know tons of people that are happy about it. I know some people that aren't so happy about it as well. But you know, you got to take the good with the bad.
Right.
There was an issue where your megaship modules were not upgrading properly, and they fixed that. I know one of the first things I did when they gave us all the new mega stuff that we'll talk about later was I went in and I was going to upgrade one of my drone modules right away, and I clicked on it, and I'm like, there's not a button to upgrade this thing. What the hell happened there? So, you know, immediately we reported it. They actually fixed that, I think, within like the first hour or two that it was out there. So that was very, very good response time on that. Good job.
Well, they need to have all that stuff repaired if they plan on using the megas in the next bounty event, which we'll get to. There's a little tease there.
Next we got Inquisition TLC is being reran. Take it away.
On the Inquisition, we have on the prize pack 1, you're going to get the 6-day oppressor build token. You're going to pick up the 2,500 BXP oppressor token also. Now, prize pack 2, you're going to get 6 days of the build tokens. Prize pack 3, also 6 days. And prize pack 4 is the 6-day liberator. Oh, I'm sorry. So it switches from oppressor to incinerator, survivor to liberator. And so you'll get 6 days on each of those. And the end of the mastery prize is the Inquisitor. It's strange. I see that you do pick up the 2,500 BXP tokens, all except for the hull it's named after. You do pick up the build tokens, however, but just not the rank token.
I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this one for the 6-day Inquisitor build tokens to do refits because a lot of people want to build that new Inquisitor that's out there. You know, the Inquisitor with the scatter guns.
It's a good idea. I mean, the stat wise, I can't tell you personally, but I've looked at the stats and it looks like it could be a pretty good haul with those weapons on it. You know.
Yeah, and like I know a lot of people originally had them fit with muddle missiles, And doing the swap over to the Sin Scatters does actually take a fair amount of time, because not only do you have to swap out the weapons, but there's quite a few specials that you got to swap out as well. So yeah, 60 tokens are definitely great for that whole aspect of things.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of wish that instead of giving a 6-day token, that they would give 6 one-day tokens.
I agree, Vlad. I think the one dayers, I mean, in all honesty, yeah, it seems like I mean, they're great to have and you get but I'm always stuck with maybe, or I'll have 2 of these and I need 1.5. And I'm just like, I feel bad throwing away them.
I agree with that, but I'm also anymore very careful what I wish for, because I might say, hey, I would rather have 1-day tokens, and they'll be like, okay, here's 2 1-day tokens.
You're right. No, right.
I was careful to say 6 one-day tokens, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
They're actually very careful in what they hear too. So,
Oh, and I don't know if I did mention, this is you're going to use your assault. So your Skyfire, or I used a Skyfire, but it's assault. It starts off. It's not too bad. I mean, it's the same thing we've seen in the past. Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, just rerun, repeat, just kind of up and refreshing everybody's memory and give a little info for those who haven't tried it yet. We also have Forever.
Yeah, I think I was supposed to talk about this one. And in Prize Pack 1, you'll end up with the Sulfide Deployer. In Prize Pack 2, the Venom Splitter. Prize Pack 3 will get you a single Gluttony build token. Prize Pack 4 will get a single 25,000 VXP Gluttony token. And remember, as a Tier 6 Conqueror Hull, it takes 100,000 to fully rank it. So that'll get you a quarter of the way there. And then your Mastery prizes will be 5,000 VXP Gluttony tokens, 2 each, and then a 4-day Gluttony build token. And with the Mastery prize, I believe that's also a 5 run-through, so you can get a total of 20 days of the Gluttony build token, though you will have to burn them, because I believe you have a maximum capacity of 2. At least that's what the 0 of 2 down here on the bottom of the screen is showing us.
No, 0-2 just means there's only 2 run-throughs for the Mastery version.
Oh, is there only 2 run-throughs?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought there was 5. My bad.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go. You'll end up with a total of 9 days of Gluttony build tokens. And the last refit I did on a Gluttony was about 9 days. So, they'll at least get you 1 refit. Or if you're doing a lesser refit, obviously you spread it out a little bit.
Now, am I mistaken, or the last time we did this campaign, not only did we get to do 5 run-throughs of the Mastery, but we also got 6-day tokens?
No, there was another Gluttony. There was a different Gluttony TLC that gave you the 5 run-throughs with 6 days.
Okay.
Right. And then you didn't end it that first time it came out, and you could just keep going and going. They had that error in it.
Yeah, I remember that. Unfortunately, I didn't find out about that glitch until after the campaign was over. Sad times for me that day. But again, lots of people have been looking forward to this campaign for Gluttony tokens, because they want to do the sit and scatter on Gluttons as opposed to Inquisitors. So lots of people are happy that this one has come back around for getting tokens to do those refits.
If Sin Gluts are really nasty.
Yeah.
I just had I built and ranked my Phantom Gluttony, and then used tokens from the FM to kit it out, and I went out hitting with just a single the single Phantom Gluttony with the sins on it, and it's pretty impressive. Very nasty.
Yeah, I would agree. As a matter of fact, I think this was I might have been confused when we were talking earlier before the show, but this might have been the campaign that I pulled mine out. I haven't really used them too much. I'm one of those that I think I got them built. They're ready to go, but I'm still don't have the courage in me. I'm not a sub guy. I am a fleet guy, but I have these, so I'm going to try. So I pulled them out on this campaign. I think it was. I'm not sure if this is. No, it's the next one. I'm sorry. Well, I know it's this one. Conquer. Yeah, it was this for the free base. This is, man, I just ran through them, no problem at all, no damage. So
Yeah,
Well, and that's the thing with doing these TLCs. If you have mud gluts and you can manage the clock so that you're not in range when they surface, you can do the Conqueror frames on these for no damage.
yes,
They're not. You have to be careful with your timer. You also have to be careful with some of them have the sonar transformer on the turrets, but it's not a full 100 range. So if you creep up on it and stop just as you start to fire, you will not be detected.
What are you saying, Ross, too, that one of the big things to watch out for is lag in this, because the siege targets this one and the wall pop-ups are freaking atrocious.
oh, holy cow. I got to tell you, I was going through this campaign. I mean, I was so happy. And in all honesty, I'm just not a PvE fan in general, but it's not that. And so I'm not in the greatest mood ever to do these in the first place. So I'm going through this and I'm pretty happy. I have the whole thing, 0 damage. I'm all the way up. I've done all the bases. I got no damage. I've done the first stage of the siege, no damage. I got my cannoneer fleet out of the water. I got my glut fleet out of the water. And then I go into the last target, 0 damage. Hey, last target, everything pops up on the screen. My screen goes wah, wah, wah. The center cannon fires, boom, 37 coins. Huh, right there. Hey, I made it through with one part of one cannoneer and 37 coin damage. I was
just for clarification, can we get that sound effect one more time?
whoosh bam. No, it was horrible though. I mean, it was. I was going so well, and then a whole fleet of cannoneers. To me, it's just, I'm not even going to repair it. I hate that fleet. I mean, I love the fleet, but I hate the repair on the fleet. So
yeah, we've been requesting for them for quite some time now, actually, to just get rid of the pop-up walls and these things. I understand when it was the raid and it was a whole different mechanic, and it kind of, was their way of throwing you off your game a little bit, making you have to adapt on the fly and whatnot. But we've seen these targets multiple times now. We know for the most part, we have memorized where all the walls are popping up. The only thing that the walls are doing at this point is causing incredible lag and not adding to our gaming enjoyment experience whatsoever.
Right. So I suggest maybe even if you're doing this campaign, I don't think a full fleet of cannoneers would be required. I might even suggest you take a few out and run with 3. And in case this were to happen, you'd have less damage.
Yeah, I mean, and the worst thing is too that you can't even just like wait for everything to load up and then go back to doing your campaign, because in this particular one you have those long range ballistas that pop up, and once they pop up, they fire. Like, the key is that you got to kill them quick before they start shooting at your cannoneers. Otherwise, they start picking your cannoneers off, and if they pop up while you're like waiting for everything to pop up, you're screwed. Your cannoneers are gonna start getting popped off. So it's yeah, that's definitely, that needs to be addressed. It's needed to be addressed for a while. They're just very resistant to that advice.
Who, Kixeye? No.
Yeah, right. We also got Endgame.
I can go over the end game.
Sure.
The end game, it's the Assault Conqueror. So this one here, you're going to get the fuel tank D1X. Now, price pack 2, you're going to pick up the turret itself. That's the D99S. You do pick up a 2500 VXP oppressor token for the mastery prize, and then you get the hull itself and the as a mastery prize, along with the 6-day build token. And so in this one here, just like all the others other than the Inquisitioner, so you'll get the rank token also with the build token. So you'll be I'm not sure what happened on that last one, but this will complete that hull. It's a nice hull. The turret's really a nice turret. Also, the fuel tank is a good special. So this one here, I suggest.
Yeah, the fuel tank is definitely like, if nothing else, if you don't already have it, do this campaign just to get the fuel tank.
Right.
The turret, if you're a low to mid level player, it's probably good. I think for most high end stuff, most people have drifted away from that because it lacks range anymore. Like pretty much like all the basic fleets outrange it. So, but yeah, I mean, one different thing about this campaign is only three prize packs. I mean, obviously the mastery you can do multiple times, but then all the others have like 4 at least. This one only has 3. So
right,
this is a nice short campaign.
Yeah.
So that covers all the Rivals TLCs. Now we're going to talk about Mega Hulls. There's lots of stuff going on with Mega Hulls this week. First, we got Titans Unleashed 3. Take it away, lad.
Yeah, and in Prize Pack 1, you'll be able to get the Kinetic Engine Module Level 1 and a 6-hour upgrade token. In Prize Pack 2, you'll get the Congreve Rocket Module, a Pyro Engine token, the Pyro Engine Module, and a Congreve Rocket token. In Prize Pack 3, Missile Strike Drone Module and the Drone Bridge Module. And in Prize Pack 4, the Jet Engine Module, the Exocet Missile Module, and various and sundry build tokens.
I know. I went through and I did the first 3 prize packs of this today with my Mega. I don't have a really high Mega. It's got some rockets on it and some drones and everything, but it's not like one of those level 381 Megas craziness things that you see out on the map. But yeah, 1 through 3 were like stupid easy. Like 1, I think it was either 6 or 12 Apollos. I can't remember which, and they went down really quick. And then like 2 was really easy as well. And yeah, I don't think I ran into any difficulties at all until I got to Prize Pack 4.
Well, and that's been one of the problems with the Mega Hull TLCs in general is either they've been, the levels are either stupid easy or you just get smacked. There doesn't seem to be a lot of in between.
But at least it does look like the Missile Strike Drone Module and the Drone Bridge got rotated into the easy zone though.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
For some of those people that I see a lot of them out there, they don't have that, and that at least is into the easy zone.
Well, and what blows my mind, okay, is we're going to talk about this here very shortly, but I'm going to mention it now. Is bounties are going to, megas are going to start getting introduced in bounty, and if they want people to get to work on their megas and use them and participate fully in bounty, they need to give us better tokens than freaking 6 hours. You remember when we used to, those tokens were like 1 days? Remember that? And then just one day they decided out of the blue, we're going to give you only 6 hours now. What the hell is that all about?
Yeah, 6 hours, I don't know. I mean, I don't do these for that reason. I have a pretty large Hyperion, but I'm not doing the prize pack for myself because the 6 hour tokens, I'll just go get in a few battles. It's 6 hours isn't really that much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. But it's something, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't look give towards in the mouth, I suppose.
Well, the Drone Bridge module, that's a good one because it's in the easy zone. So this time around, I would suggest that at least do the easy ones.
So they did do a lot of changes to gantries and megas today. The gantry build time is now down to only 7 days to build your gantry. What was it when I built mine? Like 49 or 51 or something?
I think it was 42 when we built ours.
42.
I would say I guess, apparently I'm exaggerating it more than what it was, but even so, it was ungodly awful. Let's just sum it up like that. So now you can get it done in only 7 days, and it's like a sixth of the time is what it used to be. Level 1 and 2 modules and cores are now not going to require metal alloy or advanced systems, which, you know, that's the 1 day researches. And what was the other one? 12 hours or 3 hours? No, 1 hour.
No, it was 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. 30 minutes. So yeah, you won't have to wait on those anymore and have them be able to get stolen from you for this lower level upgrades. So that's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, level 3 upgrades are only going to require 1 of each, which is infinitely better than what they used to be. And level 4s are just going to require 3 of each. So they drastically reduced how much it's going to be to upgrade your Hyperions. Now, with these changes, there will be some new titanium costs for the modules and cores. But
and I got to tell you, I read this as now instead of bending you over for metal alloy and advanced systems, we're going to bend you over for titanium.
Actually, it's not that bad. I've already I'm in the process of upgrading one of my rockets from level 1 to level 2, and it was only like 14,000 titanium.
Oh, 14,000 isn't that bad. That's reasonable.
Okay.
It's more reasonable than trying to use your Huggy Dock, that's for sure.
Well, it's definitely more reasonable than having to sit around and for like 2 days and research 2 alloys and 3 or in like another hour and a half.
Well, I think they figured out that nobody was doing that.
Well, yeah, because they had put all that stuff on the same timer as the conquest, the conqueror tokens, which in my opinion was a bad idea. But I don't know. But more to me, my aspect is like you don't have to worry about getting your shit stolen from you now while you're upgrading stuff. You just for the low levels, you just flat out, do titanium. And even for the higher levels, you don't have to worry about as much of it being at risk over time.
Well, I got to be honest. It was the metal alloy requirements that pretty much pushed me out of upgrading my my Mega at all, because it was you until you've got everything at level 3, you can't stand to let it sit on the water with anything that's thievable, because the advantage goes to the attacker, and you research something, and before you had a chance to spend it, it would be taken from you. So the level 1 and level 2 losing the metal alloy and advanced system requirement is going to help a lot of players, at least who still find them to be enjoyable, to at least get them up to the point where they're somewhat useful.
Now, I know Cuddle and chat over there is saying that level 3, for taking something from level 3 to level 4 is 84,000 titanium, which initially seems like a lot, but when you stop and think about it, like taking a module or a weapon from 3 to 4 before, wasn't that something like, I don't know because I never got one that high, to be honest, but wasn't it like you had to have like 10 of each or something?
Yes.
So just 10 advanced systems was 250,000 titanium right there, and just those 3 things.
Not just 10, 12. So.
What's it 12? Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But so. It's so while it seems like initially that, oh my god, 84,000 was a lot, when you stop and consider that 84,000 is nothing compared to what it was. So that's just my thoughts on that anyway. But it seems like overall the price to upgrade all your stuff is going down as far as titanium wise.
Yeah, I think that they did make good advances, good moves today on that. On the the big thing really is getting the small megas started, and in just even to a level where they aren't sitting there with one gun on them and just they're basically a cargo ship waiting to be grabbed. So the level 1 and 2 modules, which they don't require anything. That really helps.
So, all those people that were wanting to complain, oh, I can't make Conqueror tokens and the gantry and the Hyperion takes so long to build, blah, blah, blah. Well, there you go. You can get your gantry done in 7 days. Actually, to be honest with you, if when they came out with the Conqueror tokens thing in the beginning, instead of spending all this time complaining about it, had you just went ahead and bit the bullet, and built it, you would have already had it done. You could be making Conqueror tokens.
No. The gantry is 7. But the Hyperion did not decrease in time.
Well, I understand that, Ross, but how long have we been able to make Conqueror tokens now?
No, I know, but I'm saying so they'll have to still wait to make the tokens.
Yeah, I mean, for like 80 days or probably longer. So if they had just, built it then instead of spending the past 4 months complaining about it, they'd be able to build them now. But anyway, I digress. In Bounty Season 4, there will be an additional source for you to earn bounty points, holding a nexus with your mega ships. More details next week as we get closer to the start of the season. So, for any of you who remember that the King of the Nexus or the Golden Nexus or whatever, this basically, from my understanding, is going to be kind of exactly like that. Only there's going to not only be one golden nexus per world or whatever, there's going to be multiples perhaps, so it won't be as much of an issue as that wise as far as what the other thing was. But time will have to tell, and we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But I did do some talking. Several of us did some talking, actually, with GD Riken today, and we were getting some of his thoughts and inputs on why they decided to make Megas part of Bounty. And we're going to go over some of that now. I got permission to do that, and we are going to do so.
Did you give him an arcane shot across the screen?
Yeah, I did. So one of the things is, here's his bullet points, He's like, I want to build or invest in a Mega. Why? Because it will help me earn traditional Conqueror, Defender, weapons, etc. PvP tech via Bounty. 2, I'll start building up a Mega. 3, I do Mega TLCs to get ready for Bounty. 4, I use my Mega in Bounty to help me earn new PvP tech, which I will then use to crush bases or other fleets. And then 5 is repeat. So this is what he sees the cycle for Megas turning into currently. Now, here is where I myself have the problem. We were told from the inception of Megas, back when they first came out, that Megas would be a self-contained thing and not affect any other aspects of the game. Megas would only ever be used for Megas. They would be solely contained to themselves and not affect the rest of the game. Does everybody remember when we were told that?
Clearly, yes.
I mean,
So I should be shocked that they lied to us again?
Well, I mean, does everybody remember that they basically begged us to believe them and to try this out? And regardless of all the times that they had fed us crap in the past, that wasn't the case this time. Does everybody remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I wasn't, on a pipe dream that day, So I'm just trying to make sure that I have my facts straight here. So now, fast forward, probably a year and a half later, we are at the point where PvP is now going to be dependent upon your Mega, because you're going to have the Mega to get this bounty, to get your Conquerors, your Defenders, your weapons, and your tech that's made available in Bounty. And
what I'm going to say about that is that I'm not necessarily agreeing that the Mega will be required, because the truth of the matter is I don't participate in Bounty at all, and I've got nearly everything that's been released.
Do you have the King's Writ?
The who?
The King's Writ?
No, that's the one thing I don't have. I've got Twin Blades. I've got the other stuff. I've got more PvP crap that I never plan on building than
Yeah. But we're talking about the people who are going to be participating in bounty and having to use the mega is basically what we're getting into. And here's the problem I have, because some people are saying, trying to rationalize it by like, oh well, these mega battles are just going to be an additional source of bounty. They're not going to be mandatory or whatever. Well, if I recall, the PvE targets were supposed to be quote unquote additional sources of bounty. And do you think anybody would have got the King's Writ without hitting any of the PvE targets last time? No.
Well, the truth of the matter is the last iteration of bounty was nothing more than a second raid. It was all PvE. The amount of people who were gaining bounty points by PvP was a minority of the people who participated.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I zoned out for a second. I was reading chat.
No, I said the truth of the matter is in the last iteration or the last cycle of bounty, it was nothing more than a second raid for the month because you really couldn't get a lot of bounty points through PvP. It was all about PvE and managing the clock.
Yeah,
I mean we've had this pretty much. You see people who post how to be successful at bounty, and they'll give you a half dozen different steps to follow, and none of those half dozen steps are hit another player's base.
Yeah,
it's just another raid. That's all it is.
and see, that's where my problem comes in, where these are just going to be additional ways to generate bounty, but not mandatory, is because that's what they said about the PvE targets. Nobody could get the prize without the PvE targets. There's page after page of people bitching that the bonus targets weren't spawning enough, and I have absolutely no faith and no confidence in their ability to make it to where participating in the mega does not become mandatory to get the prizes. None whatsoever.
So.
But then here's where he gave a statement, and this is where some more of his talking points come up. And he's like, for fun or co-op battles doesn't appear to be enough. So at least he's being straightforward and straight honest there. Yes, we've been trying to do them just for fun, and it's going over like a turd in the punch bowl. We tried for about a year or so now to keep it that way, right? But in order for it to continue to sustain as a feature, you need to widen the participation number of owners in order to keep mega PvP activity lively. Players have proven many times that they are unwilling to do an activity unless it has a direct benefit or incentive for them to do so. In fact, it can be seen from both as a player response side as well as the data we have. So it's not a one-sided issue in this case.
Sure, it's a one-sided issue. They took a feature and decided an expensive feature and wanted us all to do it just because they wanted us to do it. Well, it wasn't any fun, and all you have to do is make it fun and people will do it. But look at the basic mechanics of a mega battle. You hit another mega player, and then the screen comes up and you sit there and you watch because you can't drive a mega. You can't do anything during the combat to change the course of the combat, with the only exception being a third player in one or the other alliance and coming in with a regular fleet. Then you can actually drive and enjoy yourself. Well, but as far as from the mega owner and the mega defender, neither one of them can do anything to affect the combat.
Well, one could also argue the point, though, that basically that's the same as PvP when the new point-click fleet comes out. That there's not much difference between that and this. It's all in your build and not necessarily being able to quote-unquote drive. Because when the new click the back of the base fleet comes out, that's what people do. They click the back of the base and go get a cup of coffee and come back and say, "Oh, is the battle over yet?"
No, I just think, yeah. I mean, I have one. I got a pretty high up one. I've done it when it's filling time. I don't like it at all, but it's pretty high up there just because I've had it so long. It's not fun for me, but I think the community has shown that it's just not fun. So And then for me, bounty, I was really wanting bounty. I was really looking forward to this thing added. Well, the first one didn't come out quite how they wanted. Second one didn't quite come out how they wanted. Third one, this isn't going well. And so I'm thinking, gee, is this really an incentive to make people want to join bounty? It's not for me. Matter of fact, this will drive me away. So, and I am someone who I have the King's Red. I have all those, but I'm not gonna. You've got to be kidding me. Defend a Nexus, and no.
Well, what happened to the days and the mentality when it was okay to let a feature in a game stand or fall on its own merits without having to force it upon people? If time has gone past, for about a year and a half has gone by since megas were first initially announced. At that year and a half, your player base has said, you know what, it's just not that fun. Why are you going to continue to then try to force it down their throat and make them participate, whether they think it's fun or not?
Well, they've got this big lump of a capital investment that they made in megas that has not provided the return on the investment that they hoped. And I think that's pretty obvious that it didn't provide that return on investment. And if you look at the participation in bounty, I'm not sure that bounty's giving them the return that they'd hope, though the jury's probably still out on bounty more than it is on megas. But now they're going to take both of them, tie them together, and try to make a saving throw on their ROI by tying the two together, and you have to do both. And I'm going to go back to, if you want to return.
Hold that thought for a minute. That pulls us perfectly into Jason Fisher's comment, which I pulled off our page, which to me summed up this whole thing very well. It says, bounty is failing and everyone is ignoring their mega ships. How can we fix it? Combine them into an awesome failure. Basically, in my opinion, that's what they're doing. They're using one failed thing to try to prop up another failed thing. And, Laredo in chat is saying, they're trying to change things to bring dying aspects of the game back into being needed again. What's wrong with just letting something die? If nobody is showing any interest in it and nobody cares about it, what is wrong with just letting the fucking thing die?
How many people shed tears over the fat going away?
Not many.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, they should add a delete button. That's what we actually probably. I saw the polls. Many. I guarantee more people vote to delete the Hyperion than they vote to add the Hyperion to bounty.
I'm sure that if you ran a poll right now, what the greatest feature they'd want in a Hyperion, and number one would be a recycle button.
Yes, guarantee it. So they're really not going to. Bounty won't, and bounty really isn't a hard thing to fix. It wasn't a hard thing to start off with fixed. They just chose not to. I mean,
sometimes, and this is just like a bad relationship, man. Sometimes it just gets to the point where you need to wake up one morning and you realize, I made a mistake. I need to go get a divorce. And that's what this is. You made a mistake. You need to go get a divorce and rethink this whole situation. But that's what I think.
I would love to see Hyperions go away. I would love to see bounty go away. The recipe is simple. If you want players to participate and you want players to spend coin, make the game fun. Players who are having fun will engage with the game more and will spend more coin. And these artificial constructs trying to get players to engage just are we don't need more content. It's like the FM changes. We didn't need to go from hitting 6 targets to hitting 14 in a week. nobody is going to welcome that change with open arms. We're not going to welcome these changes with open arms. This is going to be another failure. I'm just going to come right out and predict it. That adding megas to bounty is not going to help megas or bounty.
Of course, it's going to fail. I'm sure it is. There's going to be less participation in bounty this time than last time if mega hauls are required. Yeah.
Here's what I really wish I knew. I wish I knew why they were so resistant to our advice that we give them and our suggestions that we give them on how to salvage a lot of different features in this game. I wish I understood why they were so resistant to be like, these people play this game every day. They interact with each other every day. They know what people like and what people don't. They see it firsthand on the front lines in the game, so to speak. Why are they so resistant to listen to us while they sit in their glass tower doing their programming every day and maybe log onto the live server for like an hour a day? When I know people that are in this game for hours and hours and hours and hours a day. One hour in this game ain't got to teach you shit, man. You can hardly do anything in this game in 1 hour.
To me, it's almost as though, honest, and this is just my opinion, but it's like I call it intentional grounding. I swear that they're almost intentionally doing the opposite of what it would easily work. It would easily have participation. They do it often. They've been doing it at least this year. It seems to me that it's like an intentional grounding. That's what I call it. I don't understand it. It's intentionally driving less and less people to play. You can easily add players. It's not hard to figure out. And if they have a problem, you just message me. I can come up with lots of ways. But this isn't one.
I mean, I do appreciate, though, GD Riken sharing those insights on what his thought process is and them allowing us to share those insights. We might not necessarily agree with them, but at least that gives us an idea where you're coming from when you make these decisions. Like I said, we might not agree with them, but at least we kind of get a little snapshot picture of where your brain is, and you're not just thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna fuck this bounty up real good. Let's throw megas in it. It's so while we might not agree with your thought process, at least we see where you're coming from. And I think you only got one slide left. And there's if you've been in your game in the past little bit, you'll notice you've gotten bombarded by 21 time limited offers, and I just took some screenshots of some of the ones I thought were most interesting. 40 days worth of Fangtooth build tokens for $70. You got 20 days worth of Phantom Gluts for $60. You got 20 days worth of Phantom Fangs for $50. You got 20 days worth of Apex Hunters for $50. And you got 40 days worth of regular Hunter build tokens for $70. So, I don't know. Lots of people like to complain about the time limited offers. It's like, wow, that's super expensive. That's this, that's that. This is probably the one thing in the game that they can make whatever price they want, and I don't care, because if I don't want it, I don't have to buy it. I don't think it involved. There's a reason for a whole bunch of complaining about this is too much. This is too much. If you think it's too much, don't buy it. Case closed. Done over with.
And every so often though, there are a couple ones. I don't know why, but there are a couple like deals that are better than usual. I'm not saying that right here there are or not, but sometimes there really are.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. It's been a while now, but there was 20 days worth of Tide Seeker tokens for $20 or something. I think it was. Oh yeah, I jumped on that. So all right, well we still actually got like 15 minutes left. So what else do you guys want to talk about?
How's everybody doing on their base?
On the what?
On their base.
Oh, I thought you said on the raid. I was like, what are you talking about?
How's everyone stopping these phantom gluts? That's the big question I've been getting.
I'm not. I'm not. Caleb came in my base earlier and flattened me, and he prepped out a bunch of my stuff with his Phantom Blitz. He was, and bless his heart, he was trying to give me advice on, what I could do and everything. While it was appreciated, I'm just like, dude, I don't even care about my base anymore. I'm just at that point, I'm just like, whatever. I don't care about a bubble pad. I don't care if I get flattened. I don't care about none of it.
Yeah. I'm still a base person, but so the gluts are a hard one. I do have to say for people if you're offline, it's a hard one to defend against. So I know that the Inquisitor is a good hull to use for defense. I can say that. I didn't know.
Now, the Inquisitor, is it good against the King's Writ?
Well, no.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
No, no, it's not. But it can sure take a heck of a lot of damage, though. Really, as far as mortar hits, really, comparatively to other hulls. So it stays alive on its own. The King's Writ primarily doesn't have. Most people are using the Kings with primarily anti, so the King's not doing a lot of damage itself, but the relaying ships are.
Right. So, what are you finding is the most effective way to beat King's Writ and the Sloth combo? I know lots of people are mainly saying that the Epic Cats and Emancipators are kind of like the keys that all extremely buffed up by surrounding things.
I would say what kills mine quickest, I'll just put it out there, is the Epic Cat, the well-supported Epic Cat mortars, well-positioned, in all honesty, not not so much supported in positioning both, because if I don't need to stop, you can hit me with everything you have almost, and I can get through. But so it's the combined thing. But that cat mortar really it'll drop the Kings for sure.
Which is kind of interesting because when you look at the deflection numbers, it doesn't seem like that would be the case. But apparently, it's having it supported by all the fuel air munitions and the fire supports and all that kind of stuff.
I believe it is. Yes. Well, it is for sure. That's what brings kills mine the fastest for sure. Now I've seen other people that they take some other people take some well supported emancipators can do, I imagine, quite a bit of damage. Mine seem to do well with that. I don't know if it's my build or what, but I recommend the mortars really do wonders.
And you're from what you're saying too that the Epic Cats are actually killing the King's Writ and not the Sloths, because I know at one point in time that had been the strategy to use the Morts to kill off the Sloths, and the King's Writ itself wasn't going to do much without the Sloths backing it up, because as you said, almost all that's tanks and not DPS.
True. No, right. If you can, a lot of people use a tactic. They put a sub on the outside of their base, and they're online drivers. That's really a great way to do it. You kill or anything on the outside. If you kill you don't allow those sloths to come around. You're going to save your base 9 times out of 10. There's a few King Writs out there that they run one with the anti and one with the weapons. And they might be able to take your OP down in time. But primarily, the best way to do it is kill those sloths. So,
any inputs on that, Vlad? I know when it comes to PvP at the moment, you're kind of like, wah, 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 wah.
Well, you know, I've been out of PvP for, I don't know, I pulled my guard fleet, what, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, something like that. I just couldn't keep up. And I still go out and find 5 baby seals to club for my alliance points each week. But other than that, I basically don't participate in that part of the game anymore. I can't afford to. It's just, you know, there's only so many hours of repair that you can do each day. In fact, it's about 24. And
Really?
yeah, shocker there.
Wow.
When you lose a base hitting fleet, and you have to repair it. That's a day's worth of repairs that I need to use for chores that I can't use for chores. So I just don't do it anymore. Like I said, every once in a while somebody will upset me and I'll go, you know, attempt to run over their base, but usually I fail when that happens, and then I'm behind a day on my chores.
Now, have you built your Conqueror yard yet, or your Huggies yard, or whatever you?
I did build my Huggies yard. I actually used it for the first time, getting the Phantom the Phantom Gluttony going, and I do have a Gluttony in there right now being refit. The problem with it is it competes for titanium along with all the rest of the uses of titanium in the game, and you know, I that was one thing that I really hadn't felt much like. You know, it was a chore I could skip, was hunting down titanium. Now that I'm rebuilding my gluts, that's added to my chore list. I have to, you know, chase down titanium.
Yeah, I mean, titanium is a pain. I don't find it too taxing at the moment, honestly, because, like, you know, like what I do is, okay, I'm ready to go do a refit or a continuation on a build for my current Conquer. I'll go out and I'll hit one titanium target that'll give me 25k, and I'll refit up to that 25k, however much time that allows me, and then I'll let it tick away, and then, you know, in a day or 2 days or however long it takes to spend that 25k, then I can go out and hit one more target. So if you split it up that way, it's not too bad. But I've found, you know, definitely in allowing me to catch up, that and potentially be able to get back into PvP soon, the Conqueror yard has been a godsend. Because I've had, most of this week actually, I've had free shipyard time for my regular shipyard because I already have my Fangtooths built as far as I plan on building them, and my Hunters are built pretty much as far as I plan on building them. So I was actually able to build Conquerors in my Conqueror shipyard and in my regular shipyard. And when you can get 2 ship builds going at a time like that, boy, you can really start cranking some stuff out at that point, I tell you.
Yeah, I've got both shipyards going. I do like that. The titanium cost is a little problematic, but it's right at this point, it's worth it to me to have the 2. So I have problems myself with titanium because I've used the Skyfires, but I'm able to do it. I'm able to get them. I find that I auto the 83s. A lot of my gameplay is not really 100% attentive, so I need to auto quite a few things. So I hit the 83s, and I seem to be able to hit quite a few of them, and that's what I end up doing with this new locator feature. I like that. So that's what I've been doing. It's just I hit as many 83s as the fleet will do, and then I dock the fleet, and I go to bed at night. And that system's been working out for me.
And, you know, that's kind of, honestly, with this current raid format, that's kind of almost a new way of thinking that I've taken with me into the game. Is like, I'm a guy who really likes to auto my chores. So if I want to auto my chores coming up in the future, I'm best served by building the auto hull for the raid. So, you know, if you're somebody who likes to auto your chores and not be attentive to them, like Ross was just saying. That's really a line of strategy and thinking that you might want to consider. Not only that might not be the best fleet for the raid necessarily, but it will probably be the better fleet for the next year of chores that you have to do with it.
Yes, I would say so. I mean, matter of fact, that's the reason I have a Fang tooth fleet now. I like it. It's a good fleet. I'm not a sub fan, but it's done really well in the raids, and so I'm happy with that. But I am not someone who's going to want to spend prolonged time in map targets and features. And if I'm building the MK1 Hunter fleet, as I get tokens here and there, in hopes that by the time that these are turned into map targets, I have an auto fleet.
Yeah, I know. I've been able to take out my hunters and like auto the 102s out on the map for the uranium targets that we currently have for very little damage. So I've been happy with that aspect of things. I don't have to wait to get in sector threat orange. Well, you still have to wait to get sector threat for the payout to be up, but I don't have to wait to track uranium necessarily anymore to go get uranium.
Right. So,
but we're at about 4 till now. I think we pretty much covered all the new stuff. We threw some PvP info out there. We gave you a little info on if you want to auto your chores, maybe a way to look at things. And I think we've covered a decent amount of stuff tonight. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think that people, it's kind of a slow week for some, but just with what's out there now, I know it seems strange with all these TLCs. When I look at it, it's kind of a slow week for me. So I don't need a lot of these things. So it'd be nice to catch up on some stuff I got building and going.
It's a very good possibility. We might actually start doing our own versions of open mics or roundtables or whatever you want to call it here coming up in the very near future. So keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends if you found useful information, and give us a subscribe, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks a lot for coming out and watching the show, everybody. And as always, you can find me at Vlad_BP on YouTube and Vlad_BP on Twitter.
I was going to mute you, but it wasn't worth the effort to find it. All right. Later, guys.
Good night, everybody.